Hello, everybody. We are live, and thank you for showing up at the show today. Today is kind of a bigger day because today is official. Danny Trio and the Lee Cole show is an official show. We'll probably do three lives a week, and we're going to be serious. Today, we're going to cover a little bit of what's going on here and some accusations made. And after that, this show is going to be strictly mob stuff. And the only drama is going to be the rats we go after. Danny Trio's here. Once again, I'm going to let Danny introduce himself to you, tell you who he is and what he hopes to do with the show along with me as my partner.
Hey, everybody. Let me just...
I can't hear you, Danny.
Can you hear me now?
Can't hear you.
Hear me? I don't know why.
Okay, 1 minute, please.
What about now?
Yeah, Danny, I can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Can everybody hear me okay in the chat room? Just let me know, please. I can't hear you, Danny.
Can't hear one word, huh? All right, let me try something. I'll be right back.
Okay, Danny will be right back. That was weird. We were just talking right before the show started. Okay. So let me see here. Danny.
Can you hear me?
Give me 1 minute. I'm going to try to figure something out. Jump back in 5 minutes. Okay, Danny will jump back in 5 minutes. Okay, people, I want to talk about a couple things. First, let me figure out my... Okay, let's see. Let me say hi to people right here. Deadly Kitten, we appreciate you showing up. Thank you very much. Sean, seen you this morning over at that other show. Thank you for showing up. Brian Press, how you doing? River Usk, how you doing? James Williams, D's Gun, 1012, how you doing? Montauk, how are you doing? Steve Marinello, how are you doing? JJ, hello. Jim Dad, hello. Okay. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to start this up in 1 minute, but just in case, I hope I don't have to bring Danny in on by phone today, but we'll see. Okay, let's see if any more people coming in right now. Giovanni Giorgio, thank you. Hey, Dave Cameron, how you doing? Coop 11, Randy Pickle Pecker, D's Guns, Jason B. Okay, Arthur, how you doing, Arthur? John Wolf. John, be a good boy today. Okay, let's see. Deadly Kitten, Lucky Luciano, Amber Alert. Amber, you got to change your you have one of my old ones in there. You got to change that, okay? You've been me for a long time now. Silvio Dante and Bobby D. How you doing? Okay, we're waiting for Danny to get back into the show. Okay, let's read some of these remarks. I like MRE and will continue to watch him, but he needs to get rid of those Nazi tattoos. That's why he's hiding his identity. He didn't want anyone to find out. Okay, well, okay, let me see. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you.
I can hear you.
There we go.
Okay. So that's weird, ain't it? So what I wanted to do is, Danny, introduce yourself and tell people what you want to do with the show.
Well, I guess everybody knows what my name is. And basically, I'm on here to bring a different insight and hopefully an understanding about what I'm about and what this show is going to be about. And basically, I'm here to demolish and destroy rats. I hate them, and I'm going to say whatever I want to say about them. And if somebody has a problem with that, we can debate it. We could do whatever you want about it. But that's what I'm here. I'm here to bring a different insight, and that's what I'm here for.
Okay. And we're going to also be putting out, we're going to be doing a lot of things together. So you know what? We're not going to talk about that today. I'm going to get to one of the other points. Okay. And Danny and I may not agree on certain things. And if we don't agree, we're not going to agree. We'll do it right in front of you. So I'm going to start off what I have to say. And this is about the MRE situation. I like MRE, but I feel like more has to be addressed on MRE's part. The fact of the matter is this: we can all support MRE. There's no doubt. But there's going to be more stuff to come from what it seems like. Danny and I were talking about this today. I just have a bad feeling about this. And listen, people, I'm not going to turn on MRE. I'm just being as honest as I can be with you. We can't take sides for the sake of taking sides, because this ain't about sides. This is about whether somebody is denying something they are. And if MRE wants to jump on here, he's more than welcome. I'd love to ask him some questions. And I had this conversation with a couple other people too that feel differently than me. But here's the thing, though. Who delivers the news usually hurts a story. And Jimmy Calandra delivering the news really makes me question things. And we'll explain why. But Danny, why don't you tell us your part?
Well, my philosophy behind MRE might be a lot different than a lot of people's. Number one, unless somebody delivers proof that he's an actual rat, I don't believe he is one. You know, anybody can say whatever they want about why his charges were dismissed or what have you. But let me ask you guys a question. Whoever was responsible for disclosing who this guy is or was or whatever, as far as his face goes, where is the proof that he's a rat? I mean, do you have any legal or law enforcement, proof that he is a rat? I mean, honestly, other than the fact that his charges was dismissed for whatever reason, to me, he's not a rat. Until you guys can prove you already showed his face. Where's the paperwork to back up your theory? Secondly, as far as him being a white supremacist or a racist, I don't give a fuck what he is. You know what I'm saying? As far as I'm concerned, I don't care if he's got Donald Duck on his fucking arm, on his chest, on his ass. I don't give a shit. He doesn't impose his will on me. So I don't understand why what does Black Lives Matter? Are they racist? They don't affect me. I can give a fuck what they are. So with that being said, much respect to MRE. You guys did him a big favor. Whoever just, found out who he was through IPS tracking or FBI or I don't know, whatever you guys do, rats do, because rats are slimy, you know what they do. But, what you did is you gave him a bigger platform. I mean, it makes no sense to me, but you're entitled to do what you do. But that's okay. But bring hard proof.
Well,
Don't come out with
here's the thing, Danny. Here's the thing, Danny. They're talking right now like they've destroyed MRE. No, you have not.
Listen, I'm being honest. I don't see where you destroyed him. Where? Is he off the air? Is he hiding? Is he not talking? Is he a ghost? He's still pertinent. He still has a platform, and there's more to come. But my biggest thing is I don't give a fuck what he is. He's not affecting my life. He's not marching in front of my fucking house. He ain't wearing a white hood over his head and I can see him. I mean, come on, man. I mean, listen, if this brings views, more power to you. But you did nothing to him. All you did was make him bigger. And if nobody can see that, well, then yous are the idiots, not everybody else. So again, MRE, you know what it is, buddy? As far as I'm concerned, you're okay with me? Until something comes out otherwise. I can't knock the guy. For what? What am I going to knock him for? Adolf Hitler on his ass or his arm or his neck? I don't give a fuck. I've been locked up with Aryan Brotherhood. I got along with them all. They never told me what they're going to do to me or impose their will on me. Unless you allow them to do that, then that's on you. But again, it don't affect my life. I don't give a fuck what he is.
Okay, well, and that's how Danny feels. MRE, I just feel like you have to come out if you're going to talk about this. I think that your explanations have to be a little more solid. That's just the way I feel. See, this is me and Danny right here. Okay, and this is the way we're not going to bring up this subject, but to call a man a rat. Remember who delivered the news? A rat. And not only did he deliver the news, he didn't have the balls to do it on his own channel. He had to run to the smallest channel possible and have that person do it. You know, why? Why can't he just do it? And that's what I like to ask you, Jimmy. You're welcome to jump on here. Nobody representing you, Jimmy. This is where you know if you're a man or not, Jimmy. You're welcome to come on this show anytime and defend yourself. But the fact of the matter is this, people. What they did backfired. It backfired. They were better keeping him in the hole, keeping him covered up. And, you know, this is the revenge thing. We want to get you. What they got is MRE was on the other day. He made $2,000 and had 12,000 views. Sounds damaged to me.
Right. So if you defeated him, I want to be him.
And listen, I despise racist. I don't like racist. If someone comes and talks to me about being racist, I want nothing to do with them. There's been a lot of accusations made about me on these channels that have not been true. So we're about rats. Give us proof that MRE is a rat, not just what you see. Like all his charges got dropped. Hey, Danny, how many times have you known gangsters that got arrested and the judge dropped all their charges because they didn't have shit?
Well, I know a lot. I'm not going to say all of them, but I know guys that got shit dropped, came out on the street. They weren't rats.
Exactly.
It all goes to the point, you know, and it is what it is, man. You know, it's easy to say he is this because of what you people found, but unless you have documentation, and I'm sure you rats have FBI handlers or you have a direct line to the FBI in case you get threatened, maybe you can dig up some information. So why don't you go the step further and bring out a legal document saying that he's a rat?
Randy, I'm going to answer this for you. What about the blackface angel, the Aryan Brotherhood tattoo, the Nazi memorabilia? He lied to you, Angel. It's clear that he's a neo-Nazi. This is what I have an issue with, people. I'll be totally honest with you. You know, I have an issue. And if people want to watch him, they're going to watch him. But I would say to MRE, you're welcome on here to talk about it too, MRE, anytime. But, you know, and Danny and I discussed this. We feel like something, Danny, do you feel like something bigger is coming, to be honest?
I do. I definitely do. However, let's address the blackface issue. All right. The blackface issue, he explained it. All right. You don't want to believe him? That's your opinion. You don't have to believe him. There's a lot of other prominent people in the United States that have been caught with blackface. We'll just go, let's go with France. The president, he had a blackface. He still made president, still has tons of followers.
The governor of Virginia.
It goes on and on. However, listen, getting back to the fact that he's racist or whatever, if he is, shame on him. It's not affecting me. I don't give a fuck. Again, I don't break bread with him. You know, I have a conversation with him. How am I going to tell him, you know, since you're a racist, I want nothing to do with you? I don't know he's a racist because he has Adolf Hitler on his chest or wherever or whatever other insignias or tattoos. I have tattoos. I might have some derogatory tattoos on my body, on my stomach, and my back. Am I a racist? I don't know.
Well, Danny, these tough guys, explain one thing to them, Danny. When people go to prison, they pretty much separate you into groups. Would you say so?
Well, you know, you got, and I'm gonna say it because I really don't give a shit. You got white guys that emulate black people, so they're gonna hang out with the black crowd, and they get accepted, but they wash clothes and get fucked in the ass and suck a couple of cocks or whatever. And more importantly, then you have the guys that you know, relate to another ethnic background or whatever. I don't know what that's about. But when I went to prison, I didn't hang out with anybody. You know what I'm saying? I didn't need that. And again, I'm not saying I'm a tough guy, but one thing I didn't do was give massages and rub people's feet. We know who that is. So, with that being said, I don't give a fuck what anybody is. As long as they don't impede on me or try to do something to me, they could fucking slide up a grease pole. I don't give a fuck. So everybody that's making a big thing out of this, that's your issue. You know what I'm saying? I don't have an issue with it, but that's my opinion. You guys are all entitled to your own. But this is just my point of view. If you catch him out there doing something and you got a video of him fucking in a rally or burning crosses or whatever, hanging somebody, then you got a legitimate argument. But I mean, listen, is it suspect that he has certain tattoos? Probably, but it don't bother me. If he wanted to go out to dinner tomorrow, I'd go with him. I don't give a fuck. I got a bald head. Am I a white supremacist?
Likewise.
All I'm saying is, listen, you guys can pick, choose, do what you want, because after this, I'm not even going to mention it. However, before you make this guy into what you guys want him to be, get all the facts in line, come on a podcast and put them all up. If you got legitimate, not maybe, not, you know, if you don't have it, then listen, we could say whatever we want to say about the guy.
And that's what's going to happen. People are going to say whatever they say, you know. Remember when I was a kidnapper and a child molester around here? This is what people do. That's I'm sorry, that's the words they're using now with MRE too. All of a sudden, I hear people calling him a pedo, a child molester. These are new words that people are using. Michael Hensley, Michael Hensley, you're entitled to your belief, Michael Hensley, and I can't argue with you because you might have a legit case. I can't argue with you, Michael, and I'm not going to argue with anybody that thinks that MRE is a racist. Okay, I'm sorry, Danny.
All right, let me just say this. If you hang out with a rat, does that make you a rat? If you align yourself with somebody that's a cooperating informant with the United States government, but you tell everybody else, he had to do what he had to do, whatever, what's the difference?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just saying, if you guys are hell-bent on MRE being a rat, an informant, a scumbag, then bring the papers right here, bring them to forefront and break it down and say, listen, guy's a
one second. I just need someone in the chat. If you're going to write political shit, I'm just going to put you on timeout. That's it. I especially don't want to see the abortion word in here because that's somebody that's just coming in trying to fuck this show up. So you will be blocked real quick. Okay, so let's get back to Jimmy Calandra. Jimmy Calandra is not getting a break, and I'm gonna make some points. This morning I went on a show, and on the show, the person said to me that you better make sure that you have what you need on Jimmy Calandra, like it was a threat toward me. So I'm going to tell you this. Here's what a man does. If you're going to claim you're somebody's friend, pick up the phone and call me or email me or do the pussy shit and make it into a show. That's what you could do. Those are the three choices. Okay. And I'm not, that doesn't intimidate me, whatever you fucking want to do. But you asked me to put up the evidence, part 2 of the doxing. Okay. Let's explain this. Caneshade was doxxed by Jimmy Calandra. Do I have evidence? Yes, I do. And someone said, no one doxed him when he was 7 years old. Let me explain this to you, people. Jimmy Calandra put up something with Caneshade's full name. The name before he was adopted, when he turned 7, and afterwards, the name he has now. That was a very personal thing. Why are you pulling up Caneshade's name for when he was a child? What, Danny, do you think, what would be the reason to do something that scummy?
Well, listen, I mean, if you don't know this point, then you people live in a fucking hole. Listen, this guy is about himself. This guy is going to do whatever he can to make himself look better in a genre where he thinks he's the best thing since sliced bread. Now, if somebody did that to his daughter or his son or somebody in his family, what do you think he would do? Because he's a tough guy. Everybody says he's a tough guy. What would Jimmy Calandra do? Now, with that being said, what he did is a rat move. That's a bitch. And I want to use the C-U-N, word, but I'm going to restrain from using that because that's kind of a filthy word. But what he did is a bitch move. He might not agree. He might say he didn't do it, right? I don't know. But if he did, then that's a punk. You're a punk. And if you want to threaten me, you can threaten me. But do me a favor. Come see me. Don't just make a threat over a phone or a cyber bully kind of thing. Come and see me. And I mean, listen, I'm no tougher than you. You bleed like I do. I bleed like you do. But don't threaten people. If you got,
he's good at that.
So I'm just saying, because you don't know me, but I know you because you're out there. You're out there because you don't like drama. You're out there. You're in it. So again, for everybody that likes to bully or threaten people, over the internet, I mean, you're a punk. You guys are punks. Come see somebody that throws back. Oh, we punch back. I bat back, and maybe I do a little more.
Okay, I'm going to start a website called I Bat Back.
I mean, I don't understand. Everybody can make idle threats. A guy that makes a threat's a punk. Come see me. Don't make a threat. Show up at my door. Then I'd respect you more. But to go and pull a bitch move like that on an adopted kid that you show his fucking name, if you guys don't think that's a bitch move, you's a bitches. Every fucking one of yous.
Okay, let me put this up, people. This is it right here. I crossed out Caneshade's name before he was adopted. That's at the bottom right now. You see what it says? Jimmy Calandra. You see that? Jimmy put that up. Jimmy doxxed Caneshade's name. So for that other show that wanted proof, if that's not fucking proof for you enough, go to hell. Okay, and that's what it comes down to, people. That's what people do. This guy is a rat. And now he's ratting on people here. He's bought his outside life, what he's done, put Spiro away, all that shit. He's bought it here. Okay. And Jimmy, fight your own battles. Don't have your little guys come after me because I'm not going to listen to them. They can say whatever they want. My ears are closed. I'm not going after content makers. That is the commitment of this show. Danny doesn't want us to go in after content makers. We have agreements here, but Jimmy Calandra is not a content maker. He's a rat that has a podcast. Danny, you want to take it from there?
His famous saying is nobody's going to do nothing to me. Back at you, pal. Nobody's going to do nothing to me. And you could take that to the fucking bank. Secondly, what people don't understand is that rats are slimy scumbags. And this is the quintessential definition of a rat. This is what they do. It's all about them. You know what I'm saying? So, the kid doesn't want to respond, or maybe he will respond, but I think he should. And rightfully, I think he should blow the whole thing up. That's what I would do. And there's a lot of dirt on Jimmy Calandra that hasn't even come out yet. And, again,
and people, Jimmy, there's a lot of dirt on you, Jimmy.
But I mean,
watch when you fuck around, Jimmy.
Do we go tit for tat? It's kind of elementary. But if you're going to put something out there, be prepared to get fired back at. I mean, it's that simple. Don't just put something out there and then start threatening people. Oh, again, don't do that. If you got something to say it, and that's it. But
be a man and come on the show. Jump in here between us.
This is crazy, man. This is crazy. But if somebody came out and busted your fucking skull open with a bat, they're wrong. Oh, but that will never happen. It probably won't. But it may. You never know.
Yeah. Well, and that's not, and you're not threatening nobody, right, Danny?
I'm not threatening nobody. What I'm saying is he says nobody's going to do nothing to him, but he's allowed to come on a platform and do to other people.
And threaten.
What the fuck is that? What is that? What is that? And go on these programs like you're a messiah. What the fuck is that? You know what I'm saying? You're allowed to do that. You're allowed to do that. But if somebody steps to you with something, then what? Because you deal with these little fags out here, these little cunt lappers that you have in your corner. That's what you got. If a real motherfucker stepped here, then we'll see with your little kicks and your little jiu-jitsu shit. Do me a fucking favor. Take a walk. That's what you do. Take a fucking walk, because it's just begun. Remember that song from years ago, Just Begun? It's just begun. And you can address whatever, you can IPS me, track me, fuck me, do whatever you want to do. But now you opened up a can of fucking worms, and you're going to get dealt with, just like you say. People will get dealt with. They'll knock on people's doors. A Mongo Bugats. How about that, motherfucker? There you go. Suck on that.
Hey, I feel like I don't even need to be here.
It's ridiculous. These guys get out here and they wanna accuse somebody of doing something when they don't have one iota of fucking evidence. Oh, he's got an Adolf Hitler fucking tattoo. Fuck Adolf Hitler. Fuck you. And if you don't like what the guy's got, fuck you. That's all. I don't understand you people. Yous are all tough guys, and you worried about a guy with an Adolf Hitler fucking tattoo. Do me a favor. Go to fucking Pathmark and go shopping. Do yourselves a favor.
Hey, can you imagine these guys in prison, and they had an issue with these Nazis in prison?
They would step to an Aryan Brotherhood in any joint, particularly out west California. They wouldn't say a fucking word, not a word. But now it's an issue. Get the fuck out of here. Yous are all fucking crybaby cunts. That's what yous are. The fuck out of here. Do me a favor. Take a fucking walk, because yous are all full of shit. Every goddamn one of yous. The fuck out of here. You got fucking a platform, and you're gonna come out and fucking dox a kid that was adopted and put it all over the internet? You're a bitch. You're a fucking bitch. That's what yous are. Well,
can you
fuck
be on,
out of here.
So what do you really mean? What do you really mean? Danny, you're holding back.
Yeah, I know. I know. It's you know what makes me mad is, number one, they rat, right? Number one, they rat. Then they come on here and impose their will on somebody else. Who the fuck are you? You know what I'm saying? Who the fuck are you? You're a fucking rat. You're a rat. That's what yous are. Every one of yous.
Okay. Let's bring the people back that really should be remembered. Spiro and
he gave them candy and took advantage of them. Here, little boy, it's a piece of candy.
Okay, so we have Shemtov, we have Spiro, we have Alan Kaiser. These are victims. These are the victims of the rats, people.
No, he feels that because he didn't shoot Shemtov, he's not guilty. It's guilt by association, moron. You were there. No gun goes off accidental. Get the fuck out of here.
It was an accident. No, Jimmy said it was an accidental murder.
It's still a murder. Didn't he commit it?
Could you imagine putting those words in the same sentence, though? An accidental murder.
Yeah, it's accidental. Just like, yeah. Come on.
Hey, Jimmy, today's your day, but, be honest, we're not going to, we're going to move on to, there's lots of rats out here. Lots of them. We're going to move on to them, Jimmy. But, today you did something that is very questionable the other day. So you can go on and threaten us and that. But here's the thing. If you threaten us today, we'll do another show about you tomorrow. And we'll do another show the day after that.
No, you forget. You're living off his name. Don't forget. Like he says.
I'll live off your name 7 days. I'll live off your name 7 days in a row. And if you send your little boys to come after us, then I'll live off your name 14 days in a row.
It's ridiculous, bro.
And then you go run to your handlers, try to get the show shut down. You should be ashamed of yourself. Do you think you're acting like a man doing this stuff? This is embarrassing, Jimmy. You have 25,000 viewers. Go enjoy your show and just leave people the fuck alone. Stop trying to be something you're not. These guys that are falling for you and accepting you, they don't realize you would put them away too. Jimmy said Mikey Scars ratted because he couldn't do the time. Talk about hypocrisy.
They all do it. They all do it. Give them a 50-year sentence. Now somebody will say, oh, if you were faced with 50 years, you'd do it too. Suck. You know where you can go. They did it because they're pussy. And excuse my language, if there's any women out there, or I get excited and I apologize.
Well, people are going to say, we don't give a shit if Lee comes on. Just have Danny come on. Okay. Okay. MRE is hilarious. His tattoos are strange, but half the people in this country don't even know their gender anymore. So MRE doesn't seem too big. Well,
There you go. Kudos to you.
You were the man enough to admit that. Kudos to you. Okay. Wow. He had said Lee called Danny. So Lee called Danny, like Angel Gotti, are members of We Push. Danny Logan, you're a pussy. You know that? Don Logan, whatever the fuck your name is. You know, that's what you are. We Push. What are you, like a fucking retard? You know, do you think that stuff's going to work here? Do you think that has anything to do? Don Logan, I'll tell you what. Come up here and show your face and talk to us. You know, that's your choice. You got a face of somebody else there. I don't know who the fuck that is. But let's remember that. Rest in peace, Smoking Tommy. Yes, rest in peace, Smoking Tommy. He was a guy on here that died. He used to come on a regular. Vinny the Weasel. That's the proof we need, Lee. You got the one in the bag. Go, Lee. I appreciate it, Vinny. And listen, once again, nobody is condoning MRE. I mean, agreeing with him or believe what he believes. My first wife was Puerto Rican. My second wife was Mexican. And I was married to a Russian. So, you know, I don't believe in racism. You know, but when you're going to plan it on somebody, do it. But his racism isn't affecting my life or Danny's life. That's basically what we are saying. It's not affecting our lives. But I'll tell you what, and I'll say this to MRE. MRE, if more comes out and you're not talking about it and if there's more stuff out there, you know, I'll be very disappointed. And I'm kind of disappointed right now. But I'm not going to call you a rat. We're here talking about rats. So the people that brought this stuff out on MRE, please show us evidence he's a rat. Don't show us where this happens in courts all the time. Houses get raided. The judge looks at the raid and throws
evidence gets thrown out.
It happens all the time.
Listen, it's quite simple. You went this far with exposing who he is as far as his face goes and his name or whatever. Why don't you have any of the other documentation to back up that he's a rat? Forget about him being a racist. Just the fact that he's a rat is enough for me. So if anybody out there has physical proof, documentation that he's an informant for the United States government, please bring it forward.
Yeah, please. And let me ask you a question. If you found out MRE was a rat, what would you say about him?
He's a fucking scumbag.
That's it.
But unless you have proof, I can't say one way or the other. But I'm not gonna chastise him and say, "Oh yeah, you are." Then I look like a moron, and so do you people. And that's my opinion. If you don't have proof that he's a rat, other than the fact dismissed. Well, then you people, you don't know the law too well.
Danny, have you ever gone to court and had cases that have been thrown out because of no evidence?
I had an assault charge at the Crown Bar or Dempsey's Bar in Coney Island on West 15th Street when I hit a guy in the head with a beer bottle.
Okay. They threw it out? Huh?
Yeah, they used to. Hey, listen. Yeah, what happened was there used to be. I don't know if anybody knows Coney Island, but there used to be 4 cops that were notorious in Coney Island. Tom and Jerry. They used to lay in the road in dirty clothes. They used to get the drug dealers. And then you had Anspeck and Schneider. They nicknamed me the Clement Kid. I used to knock people out at the Clement Hotel. But anyway, I hit this kid in the head with a beer bottle in the bar, and they arrested me. They let me go down the corner. But anyway, my point is, I've had stuff dismissed. So you listen. Unless there's documentation, then you can all go screw.
Okay. Randy Pickle. Listen, this ain't even okay. There's a picture of MRE with a poster of Dylan Klebold and Eric Harris, aka Columbine shooters, on his wall, along with you know what? I would have to see that for myself. That would bother me. without a doubt. But I would have to see
Well,
that
look,
for myself.
I don't know. Maybe there's something wrong with me psychologically. If he is a racist, all right, which I don't condone because I'm not a racist. Maybe I am, but no, I'm joking. But if he is a racist, all right, how does that affect your life? I believe Black Lives Matter is racist.
Yep.
It don't affect my life. I keep doing what I do. So, it's a platform to dehumanize this guy, and nobody has substantial proof. I mean, substantial. Is he at a rally? Is he with skinheads? Does he wear them big black boots? I mean, I don't know. That's my theory. I was locked up with them. They never bothered me. They didn't push up on me. So I don't give a fuck. But, hey, listen, to each their own. Unless there's substantial proof, whether he's a rat or a white supremacist, kick stones.
Okay, Arthur Stewart. Randy, you don't even have to bring more proof. Lee and Danny have come out openly and said they are Nazi sympathizers. Arthur, you can get the fuck off the show, okay? You're back to your scumbag self. That's basically okay. You do realize what a retard you sound like, Arthur? That's what you sound like, a retard. We're Nazi sympathizers. You know what? We'd be the first person in the streets fighting against those motherfuckers. You guys are the cowards. And you know what? Guys like Arthur Stewell and people like that, you would fold.
No, because they're you know what they do? This is the point, Anybody that speaks out against this is a leper, is no good. But they're all in the same genre because they need to agree with people. I don't give a fuck what MRE is. He doesn't affect my life. He don't affect my life. He eats, he goes to sleep. That's on him. How does his life impose on me? Why don't you people talk about Black Lives Matter? I don't hear you talking about them or any other institution that is absolutely racist. So listen, you guys are entitled to your opinions. You can go fly a fucking kite by the Verrazano Bridge. I don't give a shit. As far as I'm concerned, unless you bring substantial evidence, you can screw.
MRE is a bigger gangster than Jimmy Calandra. What do you think about that?
I don't know. I don't know MRI on the street, so I can't, I don't know Jimmy Calandra on the street. So I can't answer that. If they are, God bless them.
Vinny says, and if anyone's going to say Lee's getting back into drama, you're wrong. This is showing us that Jimmy Calandra really, no, I don't give a shit who says we're going after rats, people. If that's drama and you don't like it, don't be here. We're going after rats. This show is going to grow, people. We have lots of plans for this show. Either you could be part of it, and if you don't like me, don't waste your time.
Listen, we can all disagree. You know what I'm saying? We can all disagree to agree. You don't have to come on this forum and start calling fucking names because we call them right back. If you don't like the guy, you don't like him. However, to your point, just bring evidence, whether he's a rat, a fag, a douchebag, I don't know, but just bring the fucking, don't just come on here and say, yeah, that's what he is. That's what he is.
And for you guys doing it right now, I'm going to be totally honest. It's backfiring, guys. If you can't see it's backfiring.
They could do whatever. Listen, Lee, I don't care if we got 20 people on here. I don't really give a shit. You know what it is? Because right is right, wrong is wrong. If you want to go on the side where people bullshit and stroke each other, then you just go. That's all. It's simple.
Hey, Danny, let me ask you a question. These guys bitching about MRE being a racist. How many of them do you think are racist or live a racist lifestyle? Can you imagine?
Hey, listen, I'm sure there's plenty, you know what I'm saying? And believe me, I've said some bad things in my life about, ethnic backgrounds and I apologize and I get caught up in whatever, but does that make me a racist? I don't think it does. I think it makes me stupid. You know what I'm saying? But it doesn't make me a racist.
We had a man that became president who had pictures with thousands of black people around his life. Mike Tyson loved him. Herschel Walker loved him. And by the time the media got through with him, they made him into a huge racist. That's how easy it is to make people into a racist.
Is Farrakhan a racist?
Right.
Is Farrakhan a racist? Okay, Farrakhan is admitted racist. He don't like white people. He'll tell you that right to your face.
And he'll tell you to your face.
He was very close with Barack Obama. Is Barack Obama a racist? I don't know. But to your point, because he hung around Farrakhan, he should be a racist.
Yeah.
Because Marie has a Nazi symbol on him or whatever. He don't have a Nazi symbol or a whatever he's got. Them fucking whatever Hitler, whatever. Then that goes to the point. So it don't make sense. Listen, you guys can blow him up. You can say whatever you want. You're just making him bigger. So,
Hey, I got a funny. Hey, Ron, this is a great one. I'm going to put it up, Ron. Lee's acting like his big brother showed up to the lunchroom.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
Hey, if you put up good shit like that, I'll put you up. That is some funny shit right there. Helmet would have a problem in the can. MRE would not. Well, I don't know about that. Let's be fair. Jimmy did some serious time, whether you like him or not. He just folded when he had to do the real big time. Okay, and upstate lawbreakers only allowed. People need therapy. Anybody in this genre needs therapy.
You need therapy for being here.
Yeah, dude. I mean, there's no doubt people need therapy here. No doubt. Arthur Stewell, crybabies can leave, please. Bunch the weak sauce. Yeah, see, Arthur came in here. He said, "Oh, Lee, I'm glad you're." Now he's going to go back to his old fucking self, attacking me and being a dick. So let him. He's going to say, "We joined the Nazi party."
Yeah, we're not. We're going to come on with spike fucking heads and motorcycles with sidecars.
Yeah. Yeah. Next time you see us, we'll be here in full gear.
That's right. That's right. These people are sick.
I got to talk to Lefty. Okay. Well, we got a lot of things. I'm going to try to catch up here. The bottom of the barrel American society is on full display. Shameless and low. British conservative. Let me tell you something, Britain. You have no right to call us in this country.
Yeah.
You realize what your country's become?
Jesus Christ. This guy's a real nut.
The great country of England, what your politicians have done to destroy it. It's become like a joke. And England's going to crack on us. They're still pissed because they came to get taxed for tea. And instead of getting tea, they got the shit beat out of them. They're still pissed about that. We had to bail them out of World War I. We had to bail them out of World War II. And now the British are still upset. Are you really a British conservative? Because there's only like 3 or 4 British conservatives left in Britain.
Oh, boy, these people, man, I tell you.
Okay, Lee is good at winding up people. Good ratings for sure. It's not about that. There's only 180 people. Yeah, there's 180
listen.
people.
This is how I feel, and you guys can keep beating MRI to the ground. A rat. He's a
MRI.
Whatever.
MRI.
Oh, MRE. I'm sorry, but
hey, when we get older, we talk about MRIs. What can I say?
Yeah, you're only going to make this guy bigger unless you come out with something that's gonna hammer him. Until then, you can say what you want. Just keep doing it because the guys and everybody that follows him is laughing at you. So just keep making him bigger unless you come out with something substantial. Again, what are you going to say? Just keep beating a dead horse. He's a rat. He's a Nazi. He's a rat. He's a Nazi. Okay, but
can you? But here's the thing. And here's the thing, Danny. That's amazing. People don't understand that MRE didn't kill a woman. MRE didn't make a plan to go to the door, open the door, try to push the woman inside and shoot her in the face. 2 men came to the door. Did MRE do that? What's worse? You guys can
listen. What's good for the goose is good for the gander. So if you wanna, keep going back and forth, it's ridiculous. You guys said what you said. He got on a platform last night. He denounced it. Whether you believe him, that's fine. Or you don't believe him, that's fine. He answered it. He didn't run and hide. He didn't cower and say, "Oh my God, you found out." So whatever. You guys want to blast him some more. Keep blasting him because it's to no avail. He's just getting bigger. So unless there's concrete evidence, then that's your opinion. It ain't fact. It's your opinion.
And right now, what you guys don't understand, I don't want to say this, but I'm going to say it. 95% of the mob genre, this genre, is white men. Whether you like it or not, 95% of this genre. There's shit going on in this country right now. And you have a lot of angry W men. Do you think they really give a shit about this? The way they're being abused right now? The shit that they're going? I can't even watch I can't find nothing on Netflix. I can't find nothing on Netflix that's not from another fucking country. I mean, we could talk about whatever we want to talk about, people, but we know what's going on in this country right now. We know who they're trying to extinct. Whether you like it or not, it's a truth. I want to read this. Jimmy Calandra used Gunsmoke the same way Anthony Sparrow used Jimmy and Paulie. But don't you get it, though? John Gotti was 15 years old and used to drive as a chauffeur for a mobster. I can't think of the mobster's name. Do you know it, Danny?
No.
Okay, so so what he did, 15 years old, had no license. He wanted to be a mobster at the age of 15. You didn't ever hear John Gotti say, "Oh, they lured me in because I was a child."
Maybe they gave him a bag of Tootsie Rolls.
Yeah. What do you think when you hear this shit? Like,
listen, I said it before. If you grow up in the neighborhood, whether you're in Brooklyn, Queens, Manhattan, wherever you are, and you're on a block or an area where it's known organized crime, social clubs or whatever, I mean, you got to be a nitwit not to know what's going on. I mean, realistically, if you think I'm lying, you're nuts. Listen, nobody can make you do something you don't want to do. I don't give a fuck if you're 15, 16. You know what's going on. You know what I'm saying? So that don't wash with me.
And on top of that, people, you left this. How about this? Jimmy Calandra is a huge Trump supporter. Is he racist? Because people seem to think. I was watching a content maker the other day.
Is Trump racist? Everybody says he's racist.
Yeah, but it was said the other day. It was said the other day in a content makers show. But here's Jimmy Calandra loving Donald Trump. Is he a racist? I guess he's a racist.
Jimmy Calandra a racist, right?
Yeah, if you like Donald Trump, you're a racist. So I guess Jimmy's no better than MRE when you think about it,
right?
Except that he kills women. And Jimmy, this is nothing, man. This is nothing. Okay, it's your choice how this goes, how this show goes with you. Because please don't make this a thing where you're gonna make this go on and on longer, because we have lots of rats to get to out there. TW, MRE never killed an innocent lady. Thank you. What happened when the black guy he got killed by some scumbags? That's what happened.
Exactly. Was he talking about Howard Beach?
Well, there were a couple of incidences. Bensonhurst. There was a Bensonhurst incident too.
Listen, that piece of shit, Gina Feliciano, whatever the fuck her name was, that's another thing. You know what I'm saying? So listen, it is what it is. And she brought kids from East New York or Bed-Stuy, wherever the hell they were from. And them kids, they deserve what they got. Farmer, whatever the other motherfucker's name was, it is what it is. I don't condone that. You know what I'm saying?
They all paid for their crime. Does that sound familiar, Jimmy Calandra? Did you pay for your crime? They paid for their crime for killing those people, which they should have. Calandra's own words: "My friends all turned on me and ratted when I am a sucker. So I called the feds and ratted too." Isn't that like a famous line the rats use?
Listen, I can't make it any clearer. I don't know if you people read or I don't know what you guys do. Watch fucking cartoons. I don't know what you do. Listen, all rats have a narrative. Their narrative is they blame somebody else. Do you ever hear a rat get on a platform and say they did it because I did it? I did it? Do you? No. You always hear them say, "Oh, Johnny, Mikey, Petey, Paul, Mary." They all blame somebody. Own your shit, move the fuck on.
I think that, I don't know if this is the real, can someone check to see if that's the real Fat Balls are saying? I got something for Danny later on tonight. Believe that.
Okay. That's fine. That's fine. Why don't you come on the show now? You got 20 minutes.
I'll let you on. You want to talk to Danny about what you got, like a man, face to face, or do you want to do it in front of your crew? He's not going to come
I
on here,
won't
Dan.
yell. I won't yell.
Huh?
Drop the link.
Okay, I'm going to put the link in here. If you want to jump on, this is only for FBS. Here's the link. Come tell Danny to his face what you got on him. Okay. I Love Lee doesn't block anyone like far too many on YouTube. The only time I block anybody is if they get on here and get totally disrespectful. Tommy Stiggs, Tommy, how you doing? I'm out of here, JC, a rap move, huh? But MRE would blow the whole thing up, and no one likes anyone with a Hitler tattoo. Mob Talk podcast. Okay, what Mob Talk? You got to do what you got to do. FBS abused Angel Gotti. Yeah, last night he did. You know, well, I'm not going to get into that. That's FBS. All viewers forward info on Calandra, the D's host. Let's really out this punk. So, Danny, if that's him coming forward, if that's what's his name coming forward and saying that he's got something for you tonight, what would you say to him?
I'm not mad. I'm glad. But you know, if that's him, again, they talk about nobody showing their face and coming on, and he's more than welcome to come on and have a civilized conversation.
Anybody that has anything to say to either one of us, you guys called me everything in the world when you've been trying to destroy me, but as you see, it didn't work. Still here.
So if he has something against me or he wants to impose his will, he's more than happy to come on. I don't know why he hasn't come on yet. If it's the real, what's his name? FBS. If
Did
it's
someone
the real
tell me if
one,
that's the real FBS, please? Okay, I'm trying to find out right now if it is. Because sometimes you'll have people come on to start
well,
shit.
that's what I'm saying. I mean, if it's the real one, I'll have a civil conversation with him. If it's not, then it's not.
But this is what they do, though. You know, when they fear you, they look up who you are and everything.
Listen. I don't give a shit if they look up the Pope. The fact of the matter is, these are rats, and these are what you call fanboys. You know what I'm saying? And they're gonna do what their little, bosses tell them to do. You know what I'm saying? They don't think for themselves. You know what I'm saying? They're always to the narrative. They're always to whoever they answer to, like these rats. I don't give a fuck what they have. You know what I'm saying? But if this is the real FBS, I don't know why he's afraid to come on. I don't understand. Like
Well,
they preach.
Well,
They
that's why I don't think it's the real FBS. Because FBS, one thing I'll give him is he will come on if he has something to say.
Okay.
It's a matter of time until you fall out with Danny, just like Drama Lee.
So well, Danny, here's the thing. Listen, you fail to understand something. This is not my livelihood. This is not how I make a living. So I'm not here to bash Lee. I'm not here to work against Lee. This is something that we agreed to do. If it goes for 2 years, 5 years, if it goes for 6 months, there's no animosity. He's my friend. And that's it. You know what I'm saying? So as far as the wheels falling off, that'd be my decision, not Lee's.
Yep. And matter of fact, my previous co-host, Caneshade, and I are good friends to this day. We had disagreements, but we remained good friends. That's it. Kitchen Batch. I don't know what you. Okay, let's see. Okay. Helmet was a never tough guy. Well, guys, leave out other shows if you're going to put stuff up. As for Angel Gotti, she did get hit pretty hard last night. But one thing about Angel, and I learned this from Angel, she can defend herself. She doesn't need anybody to defend her.
Exactly. She's a big girl, and she don't know. She doesn't listen. It is what it is. You can say whatever you want about her. Do you think it's going to affect her? It's not. So you guys can say whatever you want about Angel. Angel's capable of taking care of herself. But if you have anything derogatory to say, you can screw.
And Danny, let me ask you a question. What would you do if someone dug in your closet and found something?
What are they going to find? Some dirty underwear? What are they going to find?
Because I'm just saying, because that's what they do around here. When they're
Well, that's you see, you know why? You know why? Because here. And if they find nothing or if they find something that's legit, they're still going to look for something else. You understand? Because again, these guys are sissies. Because I guarantee you, mark my words on my son, I guarantee you, and I swear on a stack of Bibles, not one of these guys would meet me in a parking lot and tell me to my fucking face about me. Not one. And I'm not trying to be a tough guy and make myself look like a fucking gorilla, because I'm not. I'm a jerk off. I'm a piece of shit. But one thing you ain't gonna do is put your fucking hands on me.
Okay, Mob Talk Radio says that's him. So basically, he's got to do what he. You know what it is? Jimmy cannot defend himself. Jimmy needs people to defend him. Isn't that sad? That when you, as a man, cannot defend yourself, you
well,
need
I don't know why he can't defend himself. He talks, you know, he talks on his own podcast, other people's podcasts. He says he don't call nobody out, but he does. So listen.
I can't hear you. Oh,
What about now?
Okay.
So we can go round and round. You know, here it is. After today, that's going to be it. You know, unless he wants to strike back, that's fine, whatever. But listen, if everybody doesn't understand what these guys are, then you belong on that side of the road. If you're not, if you don't understand what these guys do and how they manipulate and all this, then stay over there. Don't come over here and start telling us or anybody else why they do this, they do that, do this. Do what you've got to do. You know what I'm saying? It's simple. But don't come on here and threaten people because you're sissies. Anybody can threaten somebody on a computer or on a telephone. Go meet them face to face. Don't talk shit. I mean, come on.
Yep, that's what it comes down to. But you know, that's not what they do. The tough guys, they hit you from here. That's what they do, from here. Or they make fun
You know,
of them.
this is what's funny on this YouTube or whatever. It's really funny because you got a guy that's an informant, anybody, whoever it is, and then they're allowed to get on a platform and say what they want and then be a big guy. How are you a big guy if you're a rat? I mean, I just don't understand that. You know, you go to prison, you hang out with, you know, wise guys, and you do what you do. You take pictures, you do this, but then you come on a platform and you're a tough guy. I mean, I don't understand. Where's the logic? Where's your credibility? A rat has no credibility whatsoever. So you get on a platform and you do what you do.
The boss says Danny needs to fight someone within 1 week or he will blow his top.
I know. You know what? You're right. You know what? And I shouldn't get excited. You know, I really shouldn't. But, you know, for so many years, you hear this stuff and you're around people that, you know, got ratted on. And you say to yourself, they're allowed to do that. But if you say something, you don't have a right to call them a rat or call them out on whatever because they get insulted. The reason they get insulted is because they're ashamed of what they did.
Exactly. You docs, a lot of us, why I went on FBS show and MRE, everyone, I would like to tell them that we're doxing right before this all happened with MRE. Okay, well, let's see. Well, here's what it comes down to. People, I'm totally serious. If Jimmy wants to answer this, he's welcome. If other people answer for Jimmy, then we'll hit him tomorrow and Saturday and Sunday.
But you know what I don't understand? Yeah, what I don't understand, who cares who MRE is? Who cares if he's got a face, no face, an avatar, whatever? I mean, I don't understand. Here's a guy that comes out talking about rats, this, that, and the third. And then who cares if he has a face or not? What is the significance? Because You don't know who he is because he don't have a face.
Okay, so
I mean, I don't know.
so Fatball Sicilian just asked for the link.
Drop it.
So I got the link there, Fatball Sicilian. 5 minutes. You got 5 minutes. You're more than welcome on. I know you got a show at 4 o'clock. Actually, that's why we came on early. Now, this is common sense. Common sense, I'm not bringing you on. You're not welcome on this show. You're not representing. If FBS wants to come on here, I'll mind my business, and he could talk to Danny and tell Danny what he wants to talk about. See, common sense runs around. He pretends he's a lawyer and he writes in capital letters. I had a friend that when we were 17-year-olds started into the life. I stayed as far. Okay, let's see. Hey, people, a lot of people do things when they're young and regret it. Here's FBS.
Absolutely.
How you doing?
What's
Pat?
up, guys?
How you doing?
Good.
And we're gonna
Good.
do this
Listen.
civilized. No yelling, no bullshit.
No, I don't want to yell. I want to thank you, though, Lee.
I'm not
What's
going to
that?
yell.
No, Lee, I heard you say that you're doing this early because I got the show at 4, so I appreciate that.
That's why I pushed it back to 2:30. I was going to do 3 o'clock.
Yeah. Now, listen, I'm not here to fight or battle it out with anybody. I just want to debate Danny a little bit. I only got a few minutes. Danny, how is he not racist, bro? The Hitler tattoo. We showed proof. We showed proof of him talking about a Jewish woman being shit on the bottom of a Nazi's boots. I have a video of it.
All right. Now,
Yeah. So
I agree with you. However, because he has a Hitler tattoo, because he said some derogatory statements, because I know a lot of people that say them. I know people that use the N-word. Does that make them racist? Maybe to a certain extent. Are they dumb?
Yeah.
Are they ignorant? Absolutely. I've used the word. I'm not going to lie. And it's stupid on my part. However, this guy, MRE, I know nothing about him other than what I've seen and talked to him for a little bit. So if he is a racist, okay. But what is that? How does that affect your life or my life or anybody else's life? I mean,
good point.
realistically,
That's this. No, good point. It's the same way Jimmy Calandra being a rat doesn't affect your life or Lee's life or my life.
Right. But we all have a right to say our piece or
Yeah,
bring up the fact that, and I'm not, listen, I got no animosity against Jimmy. Jimmy is a rat. I'm a piece of shit. Lee is a pedophile, whatever it is. But
Gee, thanks.
God damn, Lee.
Wait a minute. This whole thing didn't work out.
Wow.
You're not understanding.
I lost big
The
time
point
on
I'm
this.
trying to make is that, no.
No, I know what you're saying. That's what people say.
And again,
But
I'm
you know
not
what they'll do? Hold
bashing.
on one
I
second.
don't want you to.
Danny, you know what they'll do? Fatball Cesar, you know what they'll do? They're going to slow it down where he says I'm a pedophile, and they're going to put it up.
Yeah,
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
He's not. It was just a figure of speech. But
That's
listen,
fine.
I get it, and it is what it is. If MRE is that, shame on him. But that's not gonna. I'm not. I don't break bread with him. I don't. I don't hang out with him, so it doesn't affect me. If he is and it's legitimate, then he's a piece of shit. In all honesty. But again, going back to like the charges that were dismissed or whatever, that's open to opinions. I can't say I wasn't there, but I do know charges get dropped. But if he is legitimate, he is a rat, then he should be called out on it. You know what I mean? Period.
Well, yeah. One thing I will say, Danny, that I agree with you on is I'm not going to say, I haven't said factually at all that he's a rat. I've even said I have no evidence of it.
No,
The only reason,
yeah.
yeah,
I
the
just
only
said
reason,
yeah.
yeah, no, I know. I just said the only reason I have that opinion is because as I know, as a convicted felon, if you get caught with guns and the warrant is legal, you're done.
You're
So when I
you're
saw, so when I saw that they were all dismissed, that raises red flags. If I was on the street and I was selling coke to a guy who had those charges dismissed, I would distance myself from him because he has yet to give a good reason, a legitimate reason for how that happened. So,
but
and
again, I'm just going to take
can I say one thing? And Cecilia, I'm sorry, Chris.
yeah.
Can I say one thing? You do understand that Danny and I came on and we both have different opinions.
Oh yeah. No, and listen,
Okay.
Lee, I was going to give you credit if I did a
Well-
show tonight. I do give you credit for absolutely. I don't blame you for not attacking him. I understand you like him. You're cool with the guy, but I give you credit for saying that you're open minded to the fact that this might be true and that he should give better explanations. I
So you
agree.
got to
with
remember, Danny and I think Danny's been in prison for 20 years for murder. I haven't.
Yeah, me neither.
No, 18,
No.
18 and a half, not 20. Wait a minute.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But yeah, listen, Chris, if I can call you Chris,
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't have any animosity. MRE is who he is, and that's what he has to figure out for himself and the people that if he lied to or didn't lie to. I'm still going to wake up, brush my teeth, go to work. You know what I'm saying? But again, it makes for good conversation. If he is what he is, shame on him, and I'm just going to keep it moving.
And Chris, can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Don't you think this is going to backfire and make him bigger and stronger?
To an extent, yeah, but and this is the honest to God truth. The intent was never to destroy him. I never thought that was going to happen. MRE has his followers just like me and you, Lee. Look at all the stuff that's happened to us, and we still have our core group.
Oh my God.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It wasn't that, bro. It's just that this is a guy who is on here to trash people, slander people, lie about people, and he's done it about me. He made up a total bullshit story about my relationship with my daughter, and I had to come out and show a custody agreement to prove it's not true. So listen, when I got the information and I found out, you can absolutely call it a rat move. But when I found out, listen, this guy is not only not who he says he is, but he's a white supremacist. I had every right to put that out there. That's my opinion. You know what I mean? But I know, yeah, I agree with you for the most part.
Cecilia, let me ask you a question. First of all, I can't believe that I have this show going on right now on the debut of our show. Thank you for coming on. And and once again, people, this doesn't make us friends, okay? Because that's what they'll be saying. We planned this, Walter Sicilian, for 6 months.
We didn't plan it.
Yeah, okay. I want to ask you.
Yeah, and you guys know, just before you go on, Lee, I want to make it clear. Jimmy's my friend. I have his back. I disagree with you saying about Jimmy.
You told me that when we went on SoFlo show.
Yeah, and I'm not here, but I'm not here for that issue right now. You know what I mean? So go ahead. I'm sorry.
What I wanted to ask you is, one of the things that bothers me is that Jimmy won't do it from his own platform.
Well, you got to understand, and this is the honest truth too. I'm not here to talk about Jimmy's business, but I know a little bit about his personal life, and I know he has good reasons for it. He's not scared to do it. And when he does it on my channel, it's not him using me. It's me and him discussing it first and saying, "Okay, let's do this." You know what I mean? So, and just like people say he used Gunsmoke and stuff, that was Gunsmoke's own decision as a man to put that video up. Jimmy did not know about that video. Gunsmoke made it at 3 a.m. Jimmy was asleep. So he didn't know Gunsmoke was going to do that.
Okay, and one of the things I do notice on here, and FBS will tell you this, as easily as you're friends with somebody, the following day you can be enemies with them. And it happens all the fucking time.
Oh, that's the story of Mob 2, bro, summed up in a sentence. Yeah.
And whether you like me or Sicilian, and this ain't kissing no one's ass, we were here a year ago, and we're fucking still standing and growing. So, and so is MRE. The 3 guys that were originally here. I just had my best week in sub growth.
That's good, man.
Probably because of Danny. They're like, fuck this.
No, I'm just a big mouth. No.
Well, let me just answer one thing before I go, Lee, because I have to.
No problem.
I'm nervous as a motherfucker, Lee. You know how it goes.
So who is it you have on? Break it here.
Vincent Piazza from Boardwalk Empire.
Oh wow,
he's from Boardwalk Empire, Jersey Boys, Centigrade, The Sopranos. Yeah, so it's my biggest interview. Thank you. We push back. I just want to answer. You said, what slander do you have on Danny? I have no slander on Danny. I do not know anything about him. What I said in the comments was I have something for him. In other words, I'm going to respond to him tonight. I didn't say I had something on him. So, but listen, guys.
I don't have any disrespect to you. I don't know you. And, you could say what you want about me as long as it's civil and you don't call me a piece of shit.
No. Yeah, don't treat him like you treated me, okay?
No, bro, no, and that's over anyway. But
it's all good. I'm here, and
no matter what I'm very serious. I'm not going after podcasters.
But I heard you say that.
Okay, and if Jimmy wants to end this today, it's over.
Okay.
Let him do his rebuttal, and that's it. So you want to take off, right?
Good to know. Yeah, I got to go. Listen, I'd stay on longer with you guys because we're having a good discussion. But thank you for having me on, and I'm glad we were able to
And this
keep
is
it
the way
civil
it's
and have a nice
supposed to be.
conversation.
So, can you do me one favor, Chris?
Yeah, sure.
I'm blocked on your show and I can't get in. I will be respectful on your show, but there's times I like to jump in and maybe talk to you about a subject. If you could do
All right,
something, I would appreciate it.
Yeah, I'll unblock you today. You have my word.
I appreciate
Have a
it.
great show,
And we
Chris.
can have some debates
All right.
and civilized ones. Take care.
All right. Thanks, guys.
But what the hell's happening here? That's twice I've been on the same platform with FBS and we haven't been near each other for 6 months. But you see how, that's civilized, people. That's the way it's supposed to be. We've been fucking fighting and fighting and fighting, no civility whatsoever. He gave his opinion. See, we have 3 different opinions right here on MRE. Would you say that, Danny?
Absolutely, and again, everybody's entitled to it. You know what I'm saying? Is your opinion better? Is my opinion better? Is his opinion better? It's not. It's your opinion, and it is what it is.
And I'm not going to boycott nobody until I see absolute evidence. Okay, and we're talking about the tattoos and stuff. If he's a racist, he has to live with it, not me, because I know what I am. That's pretty. I'm going to answer some of these now. I had to pull way ahead because I wanted. Well, that worked out good, Danny. Thank you for telling me to drop the link there.
Absolutely.
Okay, we're not going to talk about that. I love to see Lee and FBS cordial. I'll be honest, people. I'd prefer it to be. I disagree with him. I dislike him. He dislikes me for the way we are. But I think it'd be better for this genre if we all got along a little bit better, especially the guys with shows that are growing, because that's when you can go back and forth and talk, debate, not in a hostile where people are jumping on you, calling you all these fucking names. So Danny is somewhat of a businessman, and he's been talking to me about. We're going to do some T-shirts and some other products. So, Danny, tell them what kind of ideas you have about that. What we were talking about.
Well, I just thought that some of this mob genre would be more influential, and I know a lot of guys have merch out there, and we're just going to try to do something a little different and put some stuff out there. You buy it, you buy it. You don't, you don't. You're not obligated to buy anything. But again, it's just something to put out there and to see how it goes. We're going to put some stickers out there. And some T-shirts, maybe some sweatpants, sweatshirts, whatever, and we'll see where it goes. And again, you don't have to buy it. It's not going to be no racist stuff. So anyway, that's all.
Great to see Lee, Danny and Lee moving away from the. No, we're not going to stick on the MRE thing, people. If people come out and show, if people come out and show that he's a rat, that's a different story. We're not. That's what we're here for. This ain't a show about racism. If this was a show about racism, eventually YouTube will shut you down. They don't like it discussed. They'll only put up with that for so long. FBS put it out there. You're stepping on his neck. I don't know what you mean by that. Listen to this. MRE being a neo-Nazi has brought you guys together. MobTube is a roller coaster. and let's clear up that thing about the child molestation thing because John Wolf will take a video.
No, what I meant by that is not what he was called. Everybody said he was this, that. So that's where I went with that. And I apologize if I said it in a manner where I'm accusing him of being one. I'm not.
Lee, Cole, Danny Trio. I like SoFlo's chat quite a bit. You're 100% all right about Nikki having more sides than a Rubik's Cube. Okay. Well, that's kind of getting around. So, as you know, I went on that show this morning and it didn't go too well between myself and Nikki. Why? Because Nikki has a habit of threatening people, like the things he's going to do to them. I'm a 60-year-old man. I've had everything done to me in life. Have you had everything done to you, Danny? I mean, don't you get to the point where you just fucking...
Yeah, you get to the point where your life is what it is. But what bothers me is when people threaten you. You know what I'm saying? You don't know me. I don't know you. So for you to threaten somebody, why don't you just come to their face? Why do you people do it over a phone or a computer? I mean, I never got that. I always, if I had an issue, whether I got beat up or not, I went and did what I had to do. I mean, I don't understand the logic. Maybe it's because you guys are never going to meet, so you talk shit. I don't know, but I'm a little different.
Do you have any prison ID cards to sell?
What kind?
No, Jimmy had a show once where he went on and was trying to sell someone.
Yeah, I know.
You know what I mean?
I know. Yeah, Bowata, whatever his name is. Yeah, Bowat.
Lee, I'm gonna put this up one more time. Lee is friends with Gene Barillo. Let me tell you something, people. Associating with people and being friends are two different things. Do you guys have any idea what a friend is? Do you think I would trust someone that's a rat with my life or something? I wouldn't. But if this is all you have, I don't know what else to say. Because if I brought Gene Barillo on here as a friend, Danny, what would you do?
Call him a scumbag rat.
That's it.
And maybe he'll come beat me up.
Enemies coming together is what's called a real man way to go. You know what, people? None of yous came on here thinking that FBS was going to be here today. And FBS came in here. One thing you got to say, and I said this when I put it up, FBS does not run from putting in things in there. And common sense. Let me tell you why I will not have you on here. Because one, you don't show your face. And you're coming on here to debate. I don't debate against faceless people. I did that with MRE and it didn't go too well. Would I debate MRE now? Absolutely. But it's very hard to debate people when you cannot see their face. It's just it. The old school mob always settles things. Other Chicago is always a good topic also. Okay, let's go. I'm sorry. So I almost got away from this. Today, they talk about the mob being dead, Danny. Today there was an arrest. Why don't you explain to us?
Well, it was the other day. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
what happened to the Genovese family?
Yeah, apparently there was two reported captains. I don't know if they're captains. I don't know them, but that's what the newspaper put. And a few associates that got arrested for extortion and gambling. And so, I don't think the mob is dead. I think it's hurt bad, but they're still going to find ways to make money, and that's what they're doing. And obviously, gambling is one of their high suits to be involved in. It's a great moneymaker. I did it in Gravesend and Bensonhurst. We used to, rent out the synagogues from the Jews, and I'm not racist. And we had Vegas night, bingo. We had all kinds of stuff. We even had car service. We had drinks, coffee. We made a ton of money. So gambling is a big thing, but apparently the government sees it different. I think they should concentrate on the fucking border and these guys in New York that are getting released on no bail, and they robbing and stealing, but you're worrying about a guy that's gambling.
Now, do you think that any of these guys that were just arrested, there's a chance that one of them will become a witness?
I would hope not. I mean, I can't talk to that fact. I don't know them, but I would hope not. And the two in particular have been apparently involved for many, many years. If they are in mafia, I don't know.
And it seems like now the FBI is getting these guys on smaller charges than they used to.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But it is what it is. I mean, the mob, I think generally is probably going to start moving in the direction of cyber stuff because it's pretty easy to do that. But your old school stuff, prostitution, gambling, loan sharking is still going to be pretty prevalent, I think. Anyway.
Okay, I'm gonna. Oh, and just so people know, when Danny and I do these shows, they're not going to be 3-hour shows. They're not going to even be 2 hours. They're going to be an hour to an hour and a half. Why? Because a lot of people they'll complain, say, Lee, why are you doing 2-hour shows? A lot of people don't like to watch 2-hour shows. So we're probably going to go 11 more minutes with this show. And I'm going to take some questions here if you guys have to ask anything. Okay. TT Rad, general statement. If you don't have proof, then shut your mouth. That's usually the way it is. Okay. And people say, well, they proved that he's a racist. That's going to be the thing. And that's what divides me and Danny a little bit. And that's just it.
Yep.
Jeff Caneshade deserves a real shutout. He did a lot of legwork on this MRA thing. I don't know that, to be honest with you. I have no trouble with Jeff. We've had a few brushes, but to be fair to Jeff, he's been here for a long time. And I would tell Jeff the same thing that I would tell Jimmy Calandra. Jimmy Calandra shouldn't be dealing with any of us. His show is big. He has 25,000. He's growing every day. It makes no sense why he's dealing with any of these little shows. It's ridiculous. That's just my opinion. What do you think about that, Danny? Do you think it makes sense for a guy that has like a show growing like that to be dealing with shows that have 500 subs?
No, that's like Michael Franzese tuning into this and giving his opinion. I mean, it's ridiculous. You know, we're not in his league as far as viewers and whatever, subscribers or whatever the hell they are. So, you know, it's why even consider dropping into somebody's live that has 3,000 subs. I mean, I don't 3,000 whatever. It doesn't make sense. So again, for him, he needs to concentrate on something else other than these little platforms. In my opinion, he does what he wants.
Question for Danny: when you left prison, what trade did you go into to make a living?
I've always been in the auto glass business. I started in the 80s. I used to rob back glasses and sell them. I was like a hustler for glass. And then I graduated, if you'd like, into doing auto glass work in Brooklyn Auto Glass in Coney Island on Neptune Avenue. And that's where subsequently I met some people that owned a particular glass shop in Coney Island. So I've been doing auto glass for a very long time.
And here's another question. How can you do a show on the mob if you never made dollars or opened up anyone's hole? Please explain.
I don't even know what that means.
Because if you're trying to say Danny didn't, I guess you just got here, unless you're answering someone in the chat. So,
right. I don't know.
Mob Talk Radio, I had nothing to do with that stuff. Please learn to tell the truth. You know what? Mob Talk, I'm going to drop the link. If you want to come up and say what you got to say, you're more than welcome. I have no issues with you whatsoever. I'm not going to bring you up here to jump all over your case. There's the link right there. You're more than welcome just to come up and say what you got to say, Jeff. I mean, so there's the link right there, and you can meet Danny and say hello to Danny. So that's what we try to be fair here. So have you ever read any of Jeff Canarsi's mob stuff? Danny froze up. Okay, well, let's see. Hopefully Danny comes back. I'm going to boot him out of here and bring him back. Okay, yeah, he'll be back. Okay. So you're more than welcome to jump on if you want. That's why that MTR, that's why that link's for you. Hey guys, man, stop being fucking vicious to Jeff. Seriously. You know, a lot of you guys that are like vicious to him, you don't even know him. I have my issues with Mob Talk Radio, but sometimes we go beyond. You know, when you're saying like gay shit to him and stuff, I mean, why would you do that? Mob Talk Podcast, I'm back, MRE Angel. Mob, do you have in common? Never show their faces. No, bro, I'm not saying Danny was afraid. We'll call it wolfing. I'll explain later. Okay, Mob Talk, I don't know. You just seem to do a lot of talking. Matter of fact, I think you made a video recently that I seen that I thought was kind of sucky, but you know, you're entitled to do what you want. But people, what you got to do, the people that have the shows here, they got to decide this. Am I on here to be a good show, or am I on here just to go after people? You know, some people will use it as their game plan, their format. So let them. but just admit what you are. I want to be here, a place that people could talk, can come to. Danny's on the phone. 1 second. Danny. Hey, don't worry about it. I'm about to shut the show down anyway. You want to wait? Hold up. I'm going to put you on and say goodbye to everybody. Hold on 1 second. I just hung up on him. Okay, give me 1 minute, people. Okay.
Hello.
Hey, Danny, you want to say goodbye? We're going to end the show shortly.
Sure. I just want to I appreciate everybody joining in, and everybody have a great day.
Okay, thank you. You take care, Danny. I'll talk
Bye,
to you
bye.
later. I appreciate everything. Jeff, I appreciate you showing up, Jeff.
Hey, what's up, Lee? How are you?
No problem. What do you think about this thing? And to be fair, that's what people are saying, Jeff, that you had something to do with this MRE thing. So we got to let you talk about it because you're being accused of something, and I don't see no evidence.
No, I found out about it like everybody else. You know, I didn't know nothing about the guy or anything like that. But I think the day that everything went out, everybody started finding out. But I had nothing to do with it because I think that, and I don't care what anybody thinks about me. If I'm going to put it out, I do it myself. Like I don't need to like let anybody else do work for me. And I'm not into that kind of backstabby, dirty stuff. I may not be a fan of certain people, but I have certain principles that I live by. And as far as the people saying I never show my face, everybody knows what I look like. So, you know, they can say what they want, but I had nothing to do with it. And I think that if MRE thought I did, he would have said I did. You know what I mean? So, but
Right.
It had nothing to do with me.
Well, okay. So if someone told you that today there was going to be a show with me, Danny, and FBS showing up on it, what would you say?
I wouldn't believe it.
And a civil conversation.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think that there's room for, I think if anything good came out of all this like crazy stuff that's going on, I think people can just find sort of a certain pocket where they can get along and discuss it. You know, and I think if more people, like the thing I said on my YouTube, if more people just focused on like what you're doing today and what other people do, there wouldn't be any of this crap going on. None of it.
And let me ask you an honest question, Jeff. What do you believe? And someone is asking this question, what do you think about what's going on with MRE right now with all the accusations?
I think that's his issue to deal with. It's got no bearing on my life, doesn't affect my day to day. I've got a business to run. You know, I just don't put any energy into it. It's toxic. It's not my problem. And as for the Mob Talk podcast guy, I should release a lot of the death threats he's been sending. I think a lot of people would love to see that.
Well, some people go far and above and beyond what they should be doing in this genre.
Absolutely. And it's sad. It's just, you know, listen, I don't like the fact that anybody's being accused of being anything, but that's not my business and not my problem. You know what I mean?
And there's a lot of things going around. How is everything between you and Angel at this point?
I think it's safe to say that we have moved on and go about our lives in a different way. And that's okay. Sometimes that happens in life. There are things about me she probably doesn't prefer. There are things that I definitely don't agree with. It doesn't mean I hate anybody. It just means, listen, I run a podcast. I run a business. I don't have time to get into the who likes who doesn't like who. I'm just trying to do my own thing. You know, I won't say nothing negative about her. That's just not my style.
And you know something, I made that mistake. It's not worth it.
No, it's not. It's just toxic.
Because you actually know the real Angel.
Yeah.
That's not on here fighting and defending herself. The person that she is separately, which is a totally different, a very nice woman. And, you know, I'm sorry to hear that. You know, I hope that it works out, to be honest with you.
Well, you know, listen, I think to be fair to for the situation, you know, I think people like who they like. I think feelings get hurt very easily in this genre, and I think you know that because it kind of goes back and forth. But sometimes you just move on, and that's listen. My life is not going to be any different. I still got a business to run, things to do. I wish her well, but sometimes there are things I can't support. Just like there are things she can't support. So it is what it is. No harm, no foul. You just move on.
Well, that's the sad thing here. You see it happen all the time. People get divided, and one day they're friends, and the next day they're not. We all got to be more consistent with our friends. But you actually had like a real friendship with Angel. I mean, much different than most.
Like 8 years. Yeah. It just, I think just YouTube has a way of making people that really care about each other, really get angry. And I think that if you're not very careful about ignoring the static and the lies and the BS that goes on, that's kind of what happens. I mean, you and I have battled it out over nonsense, but it is what it is. I mean, she's still a good person. She's still got a good show. I don't have any ill will towards her. I just think that you just reach a point where enough is enough.
Are you going to continue with your show the way you've been doing it a couple days a week?
I think I'm going to do like once a month. Well, my podcast is going to be every Friday, which it normally is. YouTube is going to be like once a month, where we're going to include content creators that really want to have a discussion like you. But I've also got 2 film productions that are getting ready to start. I got to go down to Florida for something. So there's a lot of external stuff I'm working on. So.
Okay, well, I'm going to let you go. I appreciate you coming on, Jeff, to clear those things up and to tell us what's going on. And you're welcome here anytime.
Not a problem, Lee. Thank you.
Okay, take care. So you see that, people? We have people that like people that don't like people, but we cannot judge a person by if they don't like somebody. That's what it comes down to. I really enjoyed doing this show today. We had really good numbers. And this show is going to turn out really good, especially when I changed the thumbnail and say FBS came on too. It's nice. I mean, that's, we will not agree on many things. But the fact that he came on the show, had the balls to come on the show, just the way he did, with no fighting. Oh, Mob Rats, I was just about ready to shut down, dude.
Hey, I wanted to address something that's been going on in social media the last couple of days. This kid, Jimmy Calandra, had come out with a video.
This doesn't sound like, hold up.
Basically,
this doesn't sound like Mob Rats.
And Johnny A-Line, liars and lowlifes and what. I was invited to a birthday party about 2 weeks ago. I have a really good friend.
That does not sound like Mob Rats. I'm sorry. So I wasn't going to let that go any further, people. So yeah, because he was about to say something stupid, then it would look like it was him up there. Mob Talk, how come he doesn't sound like a gangster today? And people know my ID and what they look. Now that doesn't, who doesn't sound like a gangster today? Okay, I'll read some more of these real quick. Okay. Well, people, I hope you guys liked this show today. I was very happy with the way it went. And that's it, people. If you haven't hit the like, please hit the like. If you haven't subscribed, I think I might be over 3,600 now. I was a couple away. And this was the fastest week of growth for this show in a long time, just in the last week. So I'd just like to thank you all for being on here. So, and what I'll do is wrongly, that was MRE, but us just on a phone. Okay. MRE, if that was you and I took you off, I didn't know what you're going to say, and you didn't sound like you. And it was more protecting you than anything. I didn't want somebody to come on here and not be you. If that is you, let me know. But if that was you and I booted you off, I do apologize. And I will let him on the Mob Rats on the show because this show is about ratting. And there's no evidence of him ratting. When evidence does come out, it might become a different story. And as for you people talking about race and all that stuff, a lot of you people talking about race, when you get off here, you probably don't live that life. The British Army have bombed. Okay, let's not get into that, guys. Come on. This is how I'm going to end the show, people. Brian Press, thank you. Great show. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please hit that like button. Let's make those likes match the numbers of the. I'll get a lot of views on this for sure. But if you could do that, I appreciate it. Everybody take care. Oh, anyway, 305 FBS is starting right now with the interview. If you guys want to go see it. Take care, people.